I'm going to be showing you how to replace the boots on the CV axle and the tie rods on this '03 Subaru WRX. Alright, just as a quick overview, before I get into this, I'm going to show you the basics to this. For the tie rod, we got it right here. All you got to do is loosen that nut, pop the tie rod off. Actually, right before that, loosen this bolt. So you can spin this whole tie rod off of this rod, and then undo those two bolts, and you can pull the boot off and replace it. So that one's really straightforward. As far as the axle goes, that's a little bit more involved, and there's a few ways you could go about it. First way, which I usually do, is unbolting the strut from the knuckle. That lets you swing this forward, and of course you take off the wheel nut and knock the axle through, and then you can pry the axle off and get it out. Another way you can do it, which I'm going to be doing since I'm replacing my control arm bushings, is dislocating the ball joint from the hub and taking out the control arm, and then it's probably best idea to disconnect it from the tie rod so it's not hanging on that, but you'll be able to pull this assembly away from the axle and get the axle out. So I'm going to show you the way I'm doing it. The first way is actually easier. It's just less involved, so let's go my way. So it looks like mine's been worked on before. At least maybe the wheel bearing's been replaced or the axle. But usually, right there, that little keyhole on the shaft, that will be, the nut collar will be indented into that to keep it from loosening. So you'll need to like hammer it out with a pin to be able to loosen it. But you will need a 32mm impact socket. I just got mine loose, just so I didn't hurt your ears. But take that off, and your axle should be free, basically. Yeah, just like that. And unfortunately, just like all cars, there's not enough room here to just push it through and pull it out. So that's why we're dislocating the knuckle from the suspension so we can pull it out. So I'm going to start working on that lower. I'm also replacing the ball joint as well on that control arm, so I'll throw that in another video. We'll go ahead and get this tie rod off next. There's a cotter pin on this castle nut. Do your best to try and take that out. It's not going to be easy, especially in the condition mine is in, but you basically just unbend it and pull it through the opposite side, and then you'll be able to take off that top castle nut, and then use a hammer to tap the knuckle to loosen up that connection for the ball joint so it can pop out. Grab yourself a 5mm Allen key and a 14mm box end wrench, and you'll be able to break this loose. With the tie rod disconnected, you can now spin this freely, get access to stuff easier. There is a nut down here, so we're going to go ahead and take that off. That might allow us to actually just pull the control arm off completely. Alright, I used a pickle fork and gave it a really good smack and separated that ball joint. So now this thing is moving on its own and I can pull that axle out. The hard part you're going to probably have at this point is getting the axle out of the transmission. Back here on the inside of the axle, there's a spot right here. There's a spring pin. Gotta knock that out, and then the axle will be able to be pulled off and pulled out. All right, now we can pull this out. The pin, it's best to leave it in mostly, so it's easier to get back in, but Subaru specifies to replace this. It should be okay, as long as it stays in. So what we're gonna do is separate this, cut the boot off, and get to work. I just used some normal side cutters. Wasn't the easiest thing, but got that band off holding the boot on. So I'm going to use a razor blade or some scissors and try and cut the rest of this off, and it should separate on its own. In order to pull this apart, there's going to be a spring ring C-clip. Really easy to remove. You just get a little pick and pry it through, and it just pops out super easy. So now we can pull this apart, and everything will fall everywhere. What we're going to end up doing is cleaning this out as much as possible, because when your boot is torn, dust gets inside, and that's what destroys your CV axle. Good news here, it's not a bolt, it's a C-clip holding on the end of this. So get your little C-clip tool, take that off, and this should slide right off, letting you take the boot off. All right, now that you got everything cleaned up, I'm sure you're having a great time doing this. We're going to get to reassembling all this. The boot kit, just about every boot kit comes with the grease you need for the joint. Some kits come with a zip tie instead of this band clamp. That's okay, but I definitely recommend the band clamp over anything. There's also a special tool that you can use to tighten these properly, but what I end up doing is just getting side cutters or the clamp cuts to tighten it down, and it's worked every time. So what we're going to do is slide these things back together. First thing is throw the boot on. It helps to grease up this shaft a little bit initially, just so the boot goes on easy, and make sure you got this band clamp on first, because putting that on after is impossible. So let's just throw it all back together, reverse process. All right, now with the axle all cleaned up and put together, sealed up nice, we can feed it back in and reattach it same way you took it out. All right, go ahead and slide it in the hub. You'll end up torquing the wheel nut to 137 foot-pounds. I wouldn't recommend doing that until you have the control arm attached and everything in place. And you can either have a buddy put his foot on the brake so you can do it, or you can take the center cap out of your wheel, lower the car down, put the e-brake on, and try and torque it then. But I would recommend getting it as tight as possible before doing that. And at the end of that, then you'll knock in that recess right there, knock that in to keep it from loosening it out. And then I'm gonna put the ball joint in to socket, torque that castle nut down to 30 foot-pounds, and then you have a leeway of 60 degrees to get that hole lined up to get the cotter pin in. And then sway bar end link, these are 33 foot-pounds right here. And that should be it. All right, for the tie rod boot, all I did was cut it off with some scissors. If yours is split, it's easier to get into, probably why you're replacing it. But now, take the end of the tie rod off just by spinning it off and get the boot clips off. The one on the inside, I used side cutters to cut off, and mine's pretty dirty in here. So what I'm gonna do is clean it out, put some new grease in it, and then I'll slide the new boot over it and clamp it down. All right, so this boot kit just comes with the boot, one clamp and one pinch clamp. So no grease. I'm using bearing grease on this. After I clean it up real good, just put some on my fingers, spun around as I packed it in there, and that should do the job. So let's feed this over it. It's not gonna be the easiest. I'd recommend trying to get a little bit of lube on the inside of this first, on both lips. The inner band clamp that comes with it's pretty tough to get on because it's just a little bit too small. So if you buy a slightly larger one, that'll do the job. You could also use a hose clamp if you get the right one that's thin enough for it, but I don't recommend that. Let's throw the tie rods back on. You can see right here, that's where the nut used to sit, just to get you a general idea. You're gonna wanna get alignment after doing this job. All right, get your tie rod back on and tighten that castle nut down to 20 foot-pounds. And if the line or the hole doesn't line up for that cotter pin, you can go up to another 60 degrees to line it up and then throw a cotter pin in place of it. Since you'll be doing an alignment, do yourself a favor while it's accessible and clean off this lock nut and threads behind it. It'll make it a lot easier for your alignment. Hope this video helped you. I'm gonna be doing an entire series on repairing this car from like basically the ground up and also modifying it, making it a lot cooler. So if you're interested in that, be sure to follow and subscribe us. Also, it helps us a lot with our channel. It lets us continue to do projects like this with your support. So thank you for that. Be sure to check out the other videos that I'm doing on this. Thanks.